Welcome to the late summer season. This 5-part series again is all about helping you implement the seasonal yoga method so that you can stay grounded, stay emotionally steady and energetically balanced during periods of seasonal change. Now, this first practice of the late summer series is called ground. It's your invitation to come back to your center and to stop leaking energy so that you can feel strong and supported from the inside out. Now, the late summer season is a really beautiful transitional season. It's one we often overlook or don't think about in the West, but in traditional Chinese medicine, late summer is actually a season in its own right. It arrives after this kind of height of the yang, the summer season, and before the inward draw or pull of the autumn. Energetically, it's connected to the earth element, so stability, nourishment, center, and in this practice, we are going to anchor, literally and energetically. I want you to think of the earth under your feet, solid, dependable, always present. This practice is your foundation. And we'll also start exploring a helpful framework I like to call your energy bank account, a way to kind of notice how much energy you're spending versus how much energy you're restoring. Where are those withdrawals happening? Work, screen time, overstimulation, and where are you making deposits? Rest, nourishment, connection to self. This flow begins that shift towards replenishment so that you don't need to kind of carry that depletion into the darker months. So let's get started with our practice, shall we? All you're going to need is a couple of blocks. If you don't have them, you can use books or anything else that you have that's similar at home. So for this practice, we're going to get started in a child's pose, ultimate grounding asana. So when you're ready, we're going to make our way slowly there, taking the knees out wide, bringing the feet to touch behind you, and just letting your forehead rest down towards the ground. And depending on where you are, what you've been doing today, your breath, your energy is going to be a little different. So let's just tune in to where the breath is at. And see if you can start to consciously deepen the breath, taking those inhales all the way down into your belly. And just using your exhale to let your hips soften a little deeper towards the heels. As you start to extend and lengthen the inhale, you can also do the same for the breath out for the exhale. You can find a softening, maybe there's a soft bend in the elbows. Let's take one more deep breath here. And you can start to slowly round yourself up and come into a tabletop or all fours position. Bring hands under shoulders, knees under hips. And let's start to warm up through some cat-cows, breathing in to drop the belly and lift your gaze. And exhaling to round the spine, drawing the chin to the chest as you tuck your tailbone under. Let's do a few more of those. We're going to start to synchronize the pace of the movement in time with the pace of your breath. To really let that be your internal compass through the next minutes of our practice. And you can always come back to that if you ever feel lost, overwhelmed, as you're moving, if you're stuck in the mind, too many thoughts going on. Come back to the steady rhythm of the breath and let that be what guides the pace and the sort of energy of your movement. We're going to start to slowly, from our tabletop, tuck the toes under. Press through the hands and lift the hips up and back into your downward facing dog. And while we settle into our first downward facing dog, to really pedal out the legs, drawing one heel closer to the mat as you bend the opposite knee, and then take it to the other side as well. And you can start to feel this pull down the back of the legs, the hamstrings, the calves. Noticing if there's any specific tightness or anything going on. And if you feel like you're holding on to maybe some tension in your neck, just give the head a little roll from side to side. On your next inhale, let's ripple forward slowly to a high plank. Exhale, bend the knees, lower knees, chest and chin, down towards the ground. As you breathe in, find your cobra stretch. So rather than pushing down and lifting all the way up, just squeeze your shoulders gently together to lift the upper body. then exhale, let's roll back into child's pose. I'll take a full breath here, inhale. And exhale. And then let's continue moving. Inhale, round up, tabletop. Exhale, tuck the toes, downwards facing dog. Take a full breath here, inhale. And exhale. And let's continue to let the breath guide this movement. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, knees, chest and chin drop down nice and lightly. Breathing into cobra, squeeze those shoulders. And exhale, balasana, child's pose. This time we're going to keep moving through. Inhale, we go through tabletop. Exhale, down dog. Keep moving, we're going to do 3 more. Inhale, forwards. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. And I want you to start to find this breath guiding the movement. Inhale for cobra. It almost becomes a sort of moving meditation. Exhale for child's pose. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, downwards facing dog. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inhale. And exhale. Last one, inhale. Exhale, let's begin. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. And as the late summer is a bit of a slowing down season, these are really nice flows to come through. Instead of coming through that full Surya Namaskara A, that sun salutation, this one is called a moon salutation as we start to slow the energy of the year, the pace of the year down. It's a really nice one to implement into your daily practice. We're going to lift the right leg to the sky as you breathe in. And then slowly draw the knee to the nose as you exhale. Let's look down, flex the foot, and lightly step that right foot onto the mat. Grab hold of your blocks and bring them either side of this front foot. Start to come into our pyramid stretch. So as you extend both legs, draw the right hip back and the left hip forward so that your hips are square to the front. And if you can't quite reach the mat, then bring the blocks a little bit higher. Blocks are going to be your friend here. As you push down into the blocks, so to inhale and halfway lift, looking forwards. As you exhale, start to fold over that right leg. And we go again, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. This is a super grounding stretch. Let's go again. Push down through that back heel as you inhale to lengthen. And exhale to fold. Okay, you can move the blocks out of the way for now. I'm going to start to bend this front knee and bring yourself up to Virabhadrasana A or Warrior One. Keep those hips square to the front of the mat. So the right hip is slightly drawing back while your left hip is drawing forwards. Let's take another breath here. Okay, you're going to start to lean the upper body weight forwards and draw this left knee into the chest at the top of your mats. For Garudasana, hook the right arm underneath the left and either bring back of the hands together or full bind. We draw the elbows away from the eye line and then start to hook the left leg around the right one. Don't worry if this is a little wobbly for now. I want you to think about squeezing everything into the midline, into the center. We speak a lot about center in the late summer season. It's super, super important to come back to that fiery, powery center and find those solid grounding roots. As you squeeze everything into the midline, you can start to sink the hips back and down. And stay with that slow, steady breath. And we're focusing on stability. One more. As you come to stand, let's bring the left knee into the chest, right hand onto the hip, and you can catch a hold of that big toe with the left hand. Ooh, a little bit wobbly. You can either choose to stay here, or we start to extend this left leg out, Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. And as you push the heel away from you, you can think about drawing that left shoulder back in. Again, big stretch down the back of the left leg. Let's take one more breath in. And as you release, slowly cross the left ankle over the right knee for standing pigeon, hands to heart center, inhale. And like you're sitting onto a chair, the bum moves back and down for Tadha Kapotasana. Drishti is super important. Keep your gaze focused on a stable point on the wall or the ground in front of you. And see if there's any more room to sink the hips a little bit deeper. I'm going to take one more deep breath here. And then come to stand, knee to the chest, inhale. And let's drop the foot, fold forwards, exhale. You can have your feet hip distance apart as you inhale to halfway lifts. And exhale to fold forwards. Let's just hold here for a moment, catching opposite elbows. Take a gentle sway side to side. Feel that rooting through soles of feet. And then slowly release hands to the mat. Let's breathe in halfway lifts. Exhale, plant hands, step it back, and lower knees, chest and chin down towards the earth. Let's inhale for cobra. Exhale for child's pose. Take a full breath here. And then slowly return, round up tabletop, inhale. And take downwards facing dog to exhale. Let's find some stability in our down dog, pushing firmly through the palms of the hands to get those hips as high as they can go. Make sure there's no tension in your neck. One more breath here before we take it on the other side. We'll begin on the next breath in, reach the left leg to the sky, inhale. And draw your knee to your nose as you exhale, flexing the left foot and slowly stepping it down. Grab a hold of those blocks again for Purvattanasana or pyramid. Blocks either side of the front foot. You can plant both heels down. If that feels tricky, just walk this back foot in a little bit. Square the hips and lengthen the legs. And remember, if you want the blocks higher, that's also a nice option. And as you push down into the blocks, inhale, find length, halfway lifts. We're going to draw this left hip back as you then fold forwards on the exhale. We go again. Let's take a half lift inhale. And a forwards fold, exhale. Final time, breathing in half lifts. And breathing out to fold forwards. Let's push into the blocks, half lift, inhale. You can release the blocks for now as we come up through warrior one, bending the front knee, planting the back heel and rising up to stand, Virabhadrasana A. Find your drishti point to focus your gaze. Breathing 2. Breathing 1. Then start to lean the upper body forward so you can draw this right knee into the chest to stand. Inhale. For Garudasana, create the left arm under the right. Catch a hold of your bind and draw the elbows away from the eye line. Then we hook the right leg all the way around, coming into our eagle leg bind. Remember, everything is squeezing into the midline right now, and then you can start to sink the hips back and down. Keep that pull. Keep the arms squeezing together, the inner thighs squeezing together. We're here for 2 more deep breaths. Embrace those wobbles if they are there. Solid foundation through the sole of that left foot. We got 1 more breath. And then you can slowly release, come to stand. Bring the right knee into the chest and catch a hold of that big toe for our Utthita Hasta A. Once you find that drishti, that stability, start to press and extend the right heel out in front of you. Don't worry how straight the leg is. If it's bent, you can just hold it here. Make sure there's energy through that heel, pushing away from you. Draw the right shoulder back. We're here for 2. We are here for 1. And then start to slowly release. Draw the right knee, right ankle across the left knee rather. Hands to heart center, inhale. And like you're sitting back into that chair, let's draw it into standing pigeon. We want to move slowly at this time of year, okay? That stability comes through strength and fluidity, moving slowly. A clear focus, a clear drishti gives us a clear direction and a clear grounding. So keep that focus on that point that is not moving. We've got 1 more breath. And then let's slowly reach the arms to the sky, knee to the chest, inhale. And fold it forwards, drop the leg down as you exhale. Ready for our Padangusthasana. Hook the peace fingers under the big toes. Take an inhale to lift the gaze, halfway lift. And then use this grip, use the strength in the arms to draw the elbows out wide and pull yourself into a nice deep forwards fold. Ideally here you want to have this belly to thigh connection. So if you need to bend the knees a little bit more so that you have that, then absolutely do so. Then you can drop the chin to the chest, look through the knees, and think about extending the sit bones towards the sky. Grounding here for 2. For 1. And let's release, draw hands to mat, half lift, inhale. Step it back, exhale, lower knees, chest and chin down towards the earth. Inhale for cobra. And exhale for child's pose. Let's hold it here. Let the breath settle. And slowly start to walk the hands in. Lift yourself up so you are kneeling. You can draw the seat to one side, extend the legs out long on the mat in front of you. We're going to come into a forwards fold. So with the sit bones extending back, let's draw the right foot inside the left inner thigh. For Shavasana A, let's reach the arms to the sky, inhale. And a slight twist of the torso so you're facing that left leg before you hinge from the hips and fold over the left leg. Don't worry about reaching the foot, you can just relax the arms wherever is comfortable. We want to take an inhale to lengthen the chest forwards. And keep that length hinging and folding from the chest as you come down. If you still feel like the upper back is rounding, you can do that a couple more times, halfway lifting as you inhale. And folding with the exhale. And your breath can really help you in these positions, especially in a fold, as you inhale to lengthen. And as you exhale to draw in that little bit deeper. And let's slowly release, walk the hands in, bring the soles of the feet together. Knees open wide for Baddha Konasana, hands onto the feet. As you inhale, I want to find length again through the chest, lift up through the crown of the head. And then use the strength in the arms to draw yourself into a fold again, chin to chest. Let the shoulder blades melt down the back. And notice with these seated asana, if you start to hold on to any tightness in the jaw, clenching the teeth, scrunching up your forehead, try to let that go. We're finding a softness in the late summer season. slowly release, lift the upper body, extend the right leg for Janu Shavasana A on the right side. Let's lift the arms to the sky, inhale. Turning so you're facing that extended leg and then hinging from the hips to fold as you exhale. Let's take an inhale, halfway lift. And an exhale to fold forwards. And again, half lift, inhale. Forwards fold, exhale. Let the weight of the upper body hang heavy. And slowly walk the hands back in. Let's bring, excuse me. Walk the hands back in, lift your upper body. And let's bring the soles of the feet flat onto the mat. We're gonna make our way down nice and slowly as you inhale, reach the arms forwards. A little bit of core strength here. Navasana, let's come onto the flat part on the base of the spine and then draw the knees into our tabletop. You wanna stay steady here, so chest is lifting, shoulders are drawing back. And if you feel super comfortable here, maybe the legs could extend into full Navasana. We're holding for 3. Breathing 2. And final breath 1. And then let's slowly draw the knees to the chest and come to lay down on your mats. We're going to finish with a couple of grounding forwards folds with our shoulder stand, Salamba Sarvangasana. So you can bring the hands onto the lower back. Start to walk the hands as far down the spine as they can go. Don't worry about extending the legs just yet. You're gonna make sure the hands are as far to the shoulders as you can get them. Then you can extend the legs up towards the ceiling. Keep your drishti lifted up towards the big toes. And maybe begin to close down your eyes. If you feel like there's more room and you're struggling to get deep enough, you could gently bend the knees towards your forehead. Walk the hands down a little bit further. Then re-extend the legs to the sky. We're going to come from here to Halasana or plow. Let's slowly take the feet up and overhead. Tap the tiptoes to the ground behind you. You can either keep the hands supporting the lower back, or you can extend them out long on the mat behind you. Think about walking the tiptoes towards your head and drawing the heels towards the top of the mat. So you get this extension in the legs. As we start to draw this energy really into the most grounding forwards folds as we bring our practice towards a close. Just start to slow down the pace of your breath. And notice that drawing downward, inward yin energy starting to feel and be created in the body. For our last one here, you're going to bend the knees, Karna Pindasana, towards the ears, sometimes called our snail pose. If you can't touch the feet on the ground, you could bring a couple of blocks in order to get them there. And then bend the knees like you're trying to wrap the knees around your ears. Full withdrawal of the senses, Pratyahara. Again, if it feels better, you can absolutely support the lower back with your hands. Just a couple more breaths here. Then let's start to slowly use your hands on the mat like a set of brakes as you uncurl the spine. Just one vertebra at a time, rolling down onto the mat. Eventually bringing the legs with you and coming to lay down. We'll do one little back bend to close as our rebound for Matsyasana fish pose. Bring the hands under the seat. Start to press through forearms, lift the chest as high as you can. And then slowly draw the crown of the head down towards the ground behind you. Feel that immediate unblock in the throat. And slowly push into the hands, lift the head, chin to chest. Come to lay down on the ground. You can maybe even spread the feet out a little bit wider. Take the arms out slightly wider. For these last few minutes of our physical yoga practice, to just let go of any effort. Maybe there's a little sigh through the mouth in order to do so. As we move into late summer, it's more important than ever that we start to allow ourselves these little pockets of time to really feel, to listen, to ground, and to notice. So in your Shavasana, unclench your jaw, relax the corners of the eyes, and just let yourself drift. If you'd like to take more time and rest, feel free to pause the video now. If you're ready to close with me, we're going to start to bring a little bit of movement into the body. Start to deepen your breath. Slowly guiding yourself back into the physical body. Next deep breath in, we can reach the arms overhead, take a full body stretch. And draw the knees slowly back in towards the chest. Give yourself a moment to really feel all that grounding energy. Hug the knees in. Give yourself some of that love that we usually save for everyone else. And roll yourself onto one side. And maybe you want to stay here for a couple of extra breaths. Gathering and drawing that inward energy, cultivating for when you leave the yoga mat today. When you're ready, let's slowly come up to seated. Ready to close our practice with our last couple of breaths of intention. On the inhale, let's sweep the arms up and overhead. Gather all that grounding and plant some into the heart space. On the inhale, let's bring thumbs to third eye. And perhaps you want to offer out that energy of your practice as you bow forwards, sending it to some place that needs it today. I hope you enjoyed Ground, the first physical practice of the late summer. So back to it. Late summer is this beautiful transitional period, and I'm so excited to take you on the journey of the next 4 practices. Stability isn't just physical, it's energetic. And as we move into this late summer season, I invite you to assess what is holding you up. When life spins fast, your ability to return to your center, literally through your legs, your breath, your awareness, is what sustains you. Keep tuning in to where your energy is going. Grounding is also never passive, it's a skill, and it begins in the physical body. And grounding isn't this idea of just like staying still and not doing anything and feeling grounded. It's about knowing where to focus your energy. And the more you water that, the more it's going to grow. I really look forward to seeing you in the next practice. We will dive into a little meditation for the late summer and work on that mindset. See you then.